I'm making a Trout. A speckled Trout. I'm gonna put a lip in it using aluminum because I like using metal. Let's get started anyways. I already got it cut out and I changed my mind. It's gonna be a lipless crankbait. It's gonna be a nice lipless crankbait though. I ended up making another cutout with the tail. So yeah, gonna continue with this one. There's the bait, looking groovy. Time to take some meat off the sides. I'm gonna get the knife, fillet it down a little bit, and we'll go from there. Sitting out here on the porch because it is hot as a mother out there in the shop. So I'm gonna do my whittling here. Time to get super wild. Got the trout pinched upside down in the vice grip. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill out a couple of holes. I'm using a 1/8 inch Forstner bit. I'm gonna find my mark, and I'm actually gonna go backwards before I go forwards. That way I don't tear the wood apart, because this is very thin. I'm pretty sure 2 holes should be plenty. And there you have it. Nice clean. Couple of holes. I'm fairly confident that that should be enough weight. Might have to put another one in there though, we'll see. All right, got my nasty nasty lead spoon. Just gonna put some couple pieces of lead in there and then use the torch to melt it. There's my holes. Just gotta let that cool down and then I'll seal it. All right, so check this out. You can just barely see it. Oh, there you go. I zoomed in. See the texture? Scale-like pattern. That awesome knurling effect. I don't know if you've ever heard of knurling, but carving decoys, like spearfishing decoys, I learned this technique years ago, and it's called knurling. Just the same way you would knurl metal, or this is called knurling. So that is grip. This is my X-Acto knife. I just took the blade out and I did all my carving with. So I literally was looking at it and I was like, huh, looks like a knurler. Pressed it on and knurled. There's what I got. Also popped it off like that to get around the fins. But yeah, that came out great. You just gotta apply pressure and roll it. And it gives it a scale-like effect. Little tips like that to make it look that much more realistic. It's pretty cool. I just went ahead and made that little eye socket on this side using a little bitty drill bit. It is a 7/64. Basically all I'm going to do is take it, poke it, and then twist backwards to start that hole. All right, now that I've got that hole started, I've turned it back, got a nice little impression there. I'm going to go ahead with the chuck drill, and in reverse, I'm going to drill backwards. There you go. Nice eye socket. All right, I got some eye screws here. That's a 1 inch and 2 3/4 inch. I'm gonna go ahead and drill my holes in this, spray it with some enamel, and then I'm gonna water test it and make sure it's gonna sink. And slide that into its head. All right, it gets a fancy up in here. Need some of this white powder, and it's super, it's baking soda, I promise. It's just very chunky baking soda. Take a wee bit, like so, packing in that hole. A little drip will do ya. There we go. Let that dry, give it a little sandy poo, hit it with some clear coat, and this sucker's gonna be ready for paint as long as it'll sink. Best thing about having a mower in your shop, it's like having a lazy boy, you know? It's got a cup holder for your beverage, a nice chair, even got a seat belt, locks you in, so if you get real wild sanding or something, rocking out, you can't throw yourself out. But yeah, just sanding. Got 80 grit, then I'm going to 220, and then I got some 400 to finish it off. I just got to go snip a piece off. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a slight concaved head right up in there using the Dremel. So check this out real quick. Then I'm gonna clear coat it. I think that concaved head, kind of like the old rattle traps, or the rattle traps got a pretty flat head, but there was a model where they put a concaved head in there, and I felt like that definitely did a little bit more. And in the past, I feel that the concaved head in my lipless crankbaits baits make it shake much more. Very minute, but it should give it a little bit better action. Time to clear coat using Rust-Oleum enamel. Definitely go as heavy as you want with that. It's the first coat of clear coat, and it's just to penetrate the wood. So maybe give it a couple whips, you know, just kind of to knock off any excess, and then hang it up to dry. Should be ready in like 20 minutes, and I can start painting. So I test out a lure, come down to the lake, get in. There's my lure. Gonna test. Got some hooks on it. Oh, it just barely floats. The colors I'm about to be pointing at are forest green, green, yellow, black, bronze, blue, gold, silver, and white. All of these color variations are just typical colors that I would use, that I am using, to make this trout look like a trout. From my personal experience, making a fish look like a fish, it's just an overlap of multiple colors. Mix as much color into it as you can, because fish skins pigmentation vary a lot. So my best advice, mix it up. Camera decided it's cool to go ahead and die in the middle of me painting, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this Trout. I got a little black, and I'm gonna do a lateral line. you know, just barely touching. Rain's on the way, so I'm gonna be using these like pretty much microscopic yellow eyes for this trout. Dab of super glue. Wow, nailed it. All right, I've got a 30-minute epoxy. I'm gonna coat this trout in. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 part resin, 1 part hardener, or 50-50. Mix it together, you got a 30-minute working time. This is pretty cheap epoxy. I got it off Amazon, but it's worked pretty good for a few other things I've made with it. So I'm gonna throw it on this. I got some time, so I'm not gonna do the enamel. I'm not in a rush right now. Make it look pretty. These little cups I have go up to 30 cc's. So I'm gonna do 2.5 cc's of the resin and 2.5 cc's of the hardener. So I'm gonna have 5 cc's total and mix that up. Also, when you put epoxy on this, it just really makes it. Wow. All right, gonna hang this little Trout up to dry now. So if anyone has ever heard of the technique of rolling and tipping, it's used in boat painting. When you paint a boat, you roll and you're rolling it, not spraying it. Use a roller to roll the paint, and then you use a paintbrush to come back. You dip it ever so slightly in like a paint thinner, and then you drag it, and that gets rid of the orange peel effect. That orange peel effect is the same thing epoxy will give a lure. So what I'm doing right now is just essentially the tipping technique used in boat painting. Using a little bit of paint thinner, tipping it, dragging it down that epoxy, and that's going to give it a nice smooth finish. Sorry, my hand's shaking. I'm gripping these pliers really tight with no orange peel. Fishing this limestone outcrop in here. Got an eagle sitting over here. It drops off pretty fast. It's only about 1.5 feet. And then we're at 9 feet of water right here, so I'm trying to pick up whatever will hit. And something hit me there, I think. There we go. You gotta be kidding. Nice sail cat. Slime the lime too. Well, that's a sail cat on the trout. Not as exciting as the sail cat on the banana, that's for sure. Thanks for being my first customer, Mr. Sail Cat. Well, it wasn't, you know, the best fish, but would have liked it to have been something else, but beggars can't be choosy. I think that's how that saying goes. Oh, man. Man, as soon as it hit the water, what I got? It's digging. Ooh, got Trout. Trout ate the trout. All right, y'all, back home. It's dark out. Put a lot of work in with that little trout lure to catch that catfish and trout. I'm glad it happened though. It worked flawlessly, had great action. The conditions weren't really the best for fishing, windy, a little overcast, which is usually good, but pressure wasn't really what I wanted it to be. And there was no tidal movement. So with the results I got, I'm really happy with that. Anyways, y'all, I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe, or don't, as always. I still appreciate you for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. See ya.